Good morning and welcome to Morning Moments. We have our guest today. Uh, this young man is an actor, singer, songwriter. He has been in some movies and some shows that you may have heard of. And it is my pleasure to introduce Caleb Martin. Welcome, Caleb.
Thank you so much for having me today. I appreciate it, Andy. How you doing?
Doing good, doing good. We were going to do a interview the other day, and you said, I'm sorry, I got a rodeo that day, so
Yeah,
I had to wait until the rodeo was over
yeah.
before I could interview you. Tell us about yourself. What do you do, and why do you do it?
Well, I grew up. I'll give you the long story here real quick. I'll try to wrap it up as quick as I can. But I grew up. My dad was a bull rider, and then he broke a lot of horses when I was young and got me into the cowboy world. And so I started team roping and competing with him when I was probably I would say started competing when I was probably 9 or 10. And so we started doing that. And when I was very young, I told my grandpa's a preacher, and I told my grandpa, I was like, I want to be an actor. I thought Roy Rogers was the beginning and end of everything. And so I was like, I want to be like Roy Rogers. And so that was always in the back of my mind. But I love team roping, and I love that whole world and that whole lifestyle. And so long story short, fast forward several years, my dad and I were heading to a team roping, and I saw a sign on the side of the interstate that said "Actors, Models, and Talent for Christ auditions." And I hadn't done anything, and I had no idea what I was supposed to do. I remember sitting there, and I told my dad, I was like, I should do that. And I don't remember what he said. He probably, who knows what he told me. And I called my mom, and my mom got me an audition. And so long story short, went to Springfield, Missouri, auditioned for Actors, Models, and Talent for Christ, made it in, took a bunch of classes, done a bunch of competitions, and the bug that was already in there turned into a fire. And I fell in love with acting, and I fell in love with Christian film and the whole just atmosphere and the people and everything about it. And so I dove in pretty well head first at that point. And my at the time my mom was driving me all across the nation, everywhere, Atlanta, Nashville, LA, New York, everywhere, to do extra work. And we weren't making any money, but we were making some good memories. And so long story short, a friend of mine, Jeremy Chesser, introduced me to a manager, Jean Wanger, and she took me under her wing, and she really helped me out, and she started teaching me, and she started mentoring me, and took me to the next level as an actor, which after a lot of work finally started getting me some really good roles. And here I am today, still in love with it and still doing it.
You've done some movies, I hear, too. Is that right?
I have, yeah. I've done. I would have to honestly go look and see. I've done. I've had 7 or 8 films that I'm really excited about, and one of them, The Chickasaw Rancher, is coming out on Netflix in about a month and a half or so, and then another one, Unsheltered, is premiering on July 30th. I just found out today, so we've got some stuff going on.
Good, good. And you also do some songwriting and singing too. Is that correct?
Yes, sir, it is. I played music and sang in church my entire life. And I've been really seriously writing for about, I don't know, 8 or 9 years probably. And I love it. I love the whole process. I love to play. I play quite a few gigs, but I write a lot. And I've been fortunate enough. Adam Dufour, a director that you should meet. Adam, he's incredible. He's had some of my songs in some of his feature films. And I think I've had probably 5 or 6 movies that have used my original music. So it's been amazing. I've been extremely blessed.
Yeah, great, great. And it's just amazing to hear. It doesn't matter if it's people who have been around as long as I have, or a young talent like you. It all goes down to the same thing. When you give God control, He takes it and says, "Now I'll take you where you need to be."
Yes, sir.
And as long as we don't get in the way,
Exactly. That's the hard part.
yeah. And trusting Him every step of the way is the hard part.
Exactly.
because I always tell people I'm really not smart enough to figure it all out. God
Me
had to
neither.
orchestrate everything for me, and
Yes,
He
sir.
puts me in the right place at the right time to meet the right person,
Yes,
and it's
sir.
just always amazing.
Yeah, it is. I can remember when I first started really traveling to auditions and going all over the place. I can remember a lot of times I would call my grandpa, and I still call my grandpa all the time, and he just prays for me when I'm feeling anxious. And I can remember something that sticks in my mind is my grandpa always says, when you're feeling anxious, just reach with your heart and reach to God, and He will take that anxiousness away. And that's 100% true. Anything I do where I feel anxious, if you just reach with your heart, God will take all that away. And it's just incredible how He's helped me.
Yeah, amen. Good. Well, what I'm going to be doing is I'm putting down below on the comment section. I'm going to be putting your credits so they can see what you've done, so that they
Hmm.
can follow your work. We'll also put your website and your Facebook page so people can follow you,
Very nice.
and so that they, and maybe somebody wants to contact you, and maybe has some work for you or have
Yeah.
questions for you, would be great. But
Yeah.
probably more important than any of that, and I say this with nearly all of my guests, when you see Caleb in a movie or you hear of Caleb Martin, take the time and just pray that God would bless you and put you at the right place at the right time to minister and to be the light that God needs to have you
Yes,
be
sir.
in this darkened world.
Yes, sir. Yeah, it's when I really started getting serious as an actor, I can remember because I'm I'm obviously a Christian, and I can remember it's a tough. What movies do you do? What movies do you not do? And there's always, it's not an easy line to walk for sure. But I came to the conclusion that I love kids, and I love to be around kids. And if I'm in something that at some point a kid sees and it changes their perspective and their perception of who I am as a person, I don't want to be in that. And I just and this goes out to all the Christian actors out there. It's extremely hard. So anytime, I appreciate you bringing that up. Anytime any actors come to your mind, or anyone in the entertainment industry, say a prayer for them, because it's not easy, but God can certainly work through that.
Sometimes in desperation we make bad choices, and
Exactly.
even desperation of the next job and the next dollar and the next
Hmm.
and we make bad choices. And I have often said, when you're desperate, that's the time to trust in God even more, to make good choices, that you're what
I
you're
like
supposed to
that.
do. So
Yes, sir.
good.
Yeah, I like that.
Caleb, it has been a pleasure to meet you and finally getting connected with you. And I'm looking forward to following your career and seeing what God's doing for you. And I hope I can keep connected with you. And I want to thank you for taking the time out of your busy rodeo schedule and
Thank you.
being with me tonight, and or should I say this morning, for our morning moments.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Andy. It's been a pleasure.
All right. And thank you all for joining me for Morning Moments. And please keep coming back and share this video with others. And may God richly bless you.